In her book, Walking on Water, author Madeleine L'Engle writes this: "The discipline of creation, be it to paint or compose or write, is an effort towards wholeness." L'Engle wrote this book for artists, and she wrote it for those who have learned or are learning to submit to the discipline of making, those who are willing to be swept up into the adventure of creating. Finally, she wrote it for those who undertake the process of creation from a place of faith, in particular the Christian faith, which she herself was a follower of. As L'Engle and others like her make clear, faith should not shut down possibilities for artists, but instead should open up new worlds that have yet to be explored. We who worship the creator of the cosmos should be energized in every way to take the artistic life seriously, and should be able to approach the world with both seriousness and lightness, for it is the handiwork of a good God, and all the world's a stage upon which the great salvation story plays out. Nothing exists that was not created. Nothing exists that cannot be redeemed. In truth, every artist works in some way from a place of faith. Filmmakers like myself know what it's like to show up on set with trepidation, but also expectation that something wonderful might happen, that some glimpse of beauty or truth or goodness, or perhaps all three, might come through the lighting or the framing or the performance in front of the camera. That's something all artists know in some sense. Writers, painters, sculptors, actors, composers, musicians, and so on, each undertakes a project or a new work with some level of faith. We trust, or at least we hope, that there is something that waits to be revealed through our fingers and our words or movements through the instrument or camera or notebook or whatever it is that's been placed in our hands. That there is something waiting behind, even beyond our contemplation and exploration of the world around us, or the thoughts and emotions that swirl within us. As I've already said, Christians worship a creative God, a God who creates out of joy, not necessity. A God who creates both in and for community. A God who made us in his image, who created us as sub-creators, who made us to be little makers, apprentices to the master. Those who are called to join in with and add to the symphony he started long before space was formed or time began. Next semester, we're going to begin offering a chapel experience here at Baylor for those who have heard the call on their life to step out on faith and to make something of this world and in this world we've been given. This chapel is for those who have come here to better understand their vocation as an artist. It is for those who know God has called them to this work, but it's also for those who doubt, who wonder if God cares about the arts, who struggle to know what being a Christian has to do with the work they feel uniquely gifted and especially designed for. We'll encounter wisdom from L'Engle and more like her, J.R.R. Tolkien, Makoto Fujimura, Andrew Peterson, Sho Baraka, many more. Artists and authors and theologians and biblical scholars, though I promise the reading load will be much lighter than other classes. If this is of interest to you, please reach out to me directly. My email is below, matthew_autry@baylor.edu. I'll be overseeing this chapel along with my friend and colleague, Carlos Colon. Carlos is a brilliant composer and musician, as well as one of the other chaplains here at Baylor. So we're both approaching this as artists as well as pastors. Our hope is that this chapel is an effort towards wholeness, as L'Engle wrote about. That this is a small but significant step for you towards understanding God's unique calling on your life, and also encountering a larger vision and imagination for the arts and the life of the artist than is on offer anywhere else outside the expansive canvas of the Christian faith. And foundationally, we want this chapel, like all our chapels here, to offer good news. The good news that we are God's masterpiece, as Paul writes about. That our lives themselves are meant to be understood as great works of art, as epic poems and fantastic stories that are unfolding word by word, chapter by chapter, as we explore and discover the beauty of the one who has made us, namely Christ, the author and perfecter of our faith. We'd love to explore and discover all this alongside you next semester. This class will meet from 3:30 to 4:45 p.m. on Tuesdays here at the Bobo, with a modest amount of outside reading expected of all participants. Seats are limited, so please email me soon if you'd like to join us. And if you don't get in this semester, do know we plan on offering this again in the fall. So grace and peace to each of you, and may you have a sure sense today and all days that God is crafting something beautiful in you and through you.
We can hear creation groan, is crying out.